Have you ever found yourself, sort of caught in that debate, wrestling with labels, like tourist versus traveler?
Oh, definitely. It's one of those conversations that pops up all the time.
It really is. And it seems to define how so many of us view exploring the world, doesn't it? It conjures up these really vivid, almost caricatured images.
Yeah, like polar opposites.
Exactly. Maybe you picture that big tour bus, cameras clicking away at every monument, people rushing from one checklist item to the next.
The classic snapshot hunter image.
Right. Or, on the other hand, you might imagine that lone backpacker maybe sketching quietly in some hidden cafe, sun-dappled notebook, looking all weathered.
Yeah, the picture of deep, solitary immersion.
Yes.
Very romanticized.
It really seems like society, and especially the media, just loves drawing this sharp line, almost a judgmental one sometimes.
Between these two identities.
One gets painted as, well, superficial, almost like a joke sometimes, while the other is held up as profound, authentic, truly enlightened.
Right, the real way to see the world.
But when you actually strip away those stereotypes, what really defines how we experience the world, both for ourselves and, importantly, for the communities we visit?
Is it just about where you stay? Or what kind of bag you carry?
Or is it something, much deeper, more intrinsic?
I think that's the core question.
Well, today we're taking a really fascinating deep dive into exactly that.
Yeah.
And the answer, well, it might actually surprise you with its nuance.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We're drawing from some incredibly insightful material provided by Luxure. They're a premier guide to luxury and hospitality, deeply rooted in Mallorca.
Mallorca, beautiful place.
Isn't it? And their blog posts, their podcast excerpts, they don't just touch on this tourist versus traveler thing. They really dismantle it. They offer this profound reevaluation of what travel can and maybe should be.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To get past those superficial labels, those sort of rigid boxes that often limit how we think about travel. We want to explore a more nuanced approach, a more mindful way of engaging with the world. Because what Luxure's philosophy ultimately suggests, and we'll really unpack today, is that the mindset you bring, well, that matters most. Profoundly so.
The mindset, okay.
Yeah. We'll delve into their really unique approach to luxury bespoke travel, which is centered on Mallorca, naturally. But we'll also look at how their services actually reach further, aiming to elevate the whole hospitality industry, kind of influencing it from the ground up.
What I find really striking about their approach is exactly that, how Luxure guides us to look beyond the easy labels. Because it really is a fascinating journey in itself, just thinking about it.
It is. It challenges assumptions.
So let's start by setting the stage a bit. Let's explore those traditional definitions that have become so ingrained in how we think. When we picture the tourist archetype, what immediately jumps out for most people?
Comfort. Right. Convenient.
Yeah, that's it. It's often someone whose main goal seems to be comfort and convenience. They're typically found on those, well-trodden paths, hitting all the usual sightseeing spots you see on postcards.
Ticking the boxes.
Ticking the boxes, exactly. Think large groups, perfectly packaged tours. The focus is on checking off landmarks from a list someone else made. And this whole image is broadly associated with what's often seen as a more superficial engagement, an experience where the visitor seems to prioritize their own entertainment, their own leisure, over really getting a deep understanding of the local culture.
It's almost like the place is just a backdrop for their holiday photos.
Right, a consumption rather than a real connection. And modern media, wow, it really leans into this portrayal, doesn't it?
Oh, heavily. Often
showing tourists as mainly interested in just personal comfort, relaxation, having a good time. Frequently with little obvious thought for the wider cultural or environmental context.
Yeah, the impact isn't always part of the picture presented.
This common image of the tourist, it's so pervasive, so sticky in our minds, you can almost see them, right? Eyes may be glued to a guidebook or phone, snapping photos, moving quickly from one famous spot to the next.
Often without really slowing down enough to absorb anything beyond the immediate view.
Yes, it's a very functional interaction with a place, often quite fast-paced.
And then, in stark contrast, society has held up this other ideal for ages, the traditional traveler persona, almost like the holy grail of exploration.
The aspirational figure.
Totally. The traveler is seen as someone actively seeking a more immersive and authentic experience. Whatever authentic means in that context, which is a whole other conversation.
True.
But they're seen as the ones who deliberately venture off the beaten path. They often go to great lengths to avoid anything that feels like a tourist trap.
Right, seeking out the hidden gems.
Exactly. Their goal is supposedly to engage deeply with local customs, maybe making a genuine effort to learn a few words of the language, finding those tiny local restaurants no guidebook mentions, or even, participating in traditional activities firsthand.
Getting involved?
Yeah. And this archetype, the traveler, they supposedly prioritize personal growth and understanding over convenience. Discomfort isn't something to avoid, it's often embraced, seen as part of the journey towards self-discovery, enlightenment.
Part of the authentic experience.
Precisely. They value things like slow travel, staying longer in one place to really soak it in. They're all about cultural immersion and adopting a more respectful and mindful approach to the places they visit.
It's fascinating, though, how society has drawn this incredibly stark contrast. It's almost absolute.
It really is. It practically creates a moral hierarchy, doesn't it? Where one way of exploring is seen as inherently better, more noble than the other.
Definitely. The traveler gets romanticized as this truth seeker, a cultural bridge builder.
While the tourist, well, frankly, often gets reduced to a bit of a joke, almost dismissively portrayed.
But this is exactly where Luxure comes in with such a crucial and, I think, really refreshing point.
Okay, let's hear it.
Their material basically asserts that this binary view oversimplifies the complex reality of travel and its profound impact both on the visitors and on the host communities.
So it's just not that black and white.
Not at all. In fact, they elaborate quite beautifully on the idea that the line between tourist and traveler is often blurred, maybe even artificial. Not a hard border, more like a spectrum, a fluid gradient.
I like that, a spectrum.
They use this brilliant saying to drive it home, and I absolutely love it. Not every tourist wears socks and sandals, and not every traveler writes for Condé Nast.
Huh. That's good. That really cuts through it.
Doesn't it? It just immediately shatters those rigid, unhelpful stereotypes.
Yeah.
You can easily picture someone on a package tour who is incredibly curious, deeply respectful, genuinely interested in learning.
Absolutely. Just as you can probably find a solo backpacker who's entirely self-absorbed, maybe even leaves a negative footprint culturally or environmentally.
Exactly. It's about looking beyond those surface things, what someone wears, how they got there, and appreciating the truly complex nature of human experience and curiosity.
So the way you travel is far less important than your mindset and your actions.
That seems to be the core idea.
Yeah, and this is where the individual's fluency comes in, as Ligdasargir puts it. They really highlight how many people actually embody bits of both identities at different times, sometimes even on the same trip, often shifting between them pretty seamlessly.
That makes sense. I could see that.
Think about your own trips or people you know. Someone might genuinely enjoy the comfort and, frankly, the efficiency of a guided tour one day. Maybe to see a huge historical site like Palma Cathedral effectively, get that expert commentary.
Sure, makes sense.
But then, the very next day on the same trip, they might actively seek out something more immersive, more independent. Maybe just wandering through a local market, striking up conversations with vendors, or taking a local cooking class in someone's home.
Right, mixing it up.
Exactly. They might actively seek both comfort and adventure. They might hit the well-known attractions and discover those off-the-beaten-path spots. It's not an either situation, it's dynamic. It's a choice made in the moment based on interest, energy, opportunity.
Okay.
And critically, this leads us to a point that's often missed but is really crucial, and Luxure doesn't shy away from it: the role of privilege.
Ah, yes. That's important.
Worry. The ability to consistently adopt that idealized traveler persona, the one glorified by Instagram and travel blogs, is often, let's be honest, a privilege afforded to those with the time, resources, and freedom to travel extensively, to just linger and explore without worrying about the cost.
That's a fair point. Not everyone has that luxury.
Exactly. For many people, the tourist approach might very well be the only feasible way to experience new places at all.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about a parent with just 2 weeks of vacation a year who wants to show their kids another country before school starts. Or someone on a tight budget who's saved for years for one specific trip. Maybe someone with mobility issues, or even significant language barriers.
Okay, I see.
For these people, a package tour might be the only practical, safe, or even enjoyable way to see that new country, to give their kids a taste of a different culture, or just to relax and recharge somewhere new. Time limits, money limits, family duties, physical needs, or even just wanting things to be easy. All these can mean a tourist experience isn't just feasible, it's desirable and totally valid.
That's a really important perspective to keep in mind.
It really is. It's crucial to recognize that not everyone can just take a month off for a backpacking odyssey. Not everyone has the financial cushion to chase every niche cultural immersion experience the media loves to romanticize. This isn't about judging. It's about acknowledging the diverse realities of why and how people travel.
And if we're talking about how these deep-seated perceptions get formed, we absolutely have to look at the powerful, almost overwhelming role of modern media.
Oh, huge role.
It plays such a significant part in shaping these narratives and really highlighting, maybe even exaggerating, that dichotomy we've been discussing. Just think about the media we consume constantly. Travel blogs, where every post seems like an epic tale of discovery, documentaries focusing only on intrepid explorers conquering the unknown, social media influencers with their perfectly curated feeds of seemingly effortless, authentic journeys.
And those travel shows, right, with charismatic hosts diving into supposedly profound, hyperlocal cultural experiences.
Exactly. These platforms aren't just reporting on travel. They're actively building and reinforcing these separate identities. Often, like we said, creating a very strong us versus them narrative between the tourist and the traveler.
Setting up a clear hierarchy of good versus bad travel.
It's an incredibly powerful way to shape what we think travel should look like. And critically, how we believe we should identify ourselves when we explore. It almost sets an expectation, doesn't it? A kind of performance of what good travel is.
It does. And this media narrative, as you say, overwhelmingly romanticizes the traveler. It glorifies the traveler's journey as this path to self-discovery and personal enrichment.
The ultimate transformative experience.
Right. They're almost always portrayed as the truly enlightened ones, the true explorers and cultural ambassadors, often positioned as having a deeper, more meaningful connection to the places they visit. Their deeper engagement with local communities is consistently praised.
And they're often shown as being more environmentally and culturally responsible, too.
Exactly, than their tourist counterparts. And this whole narrative taps powerfully into a collective desire for authenticity in a globalized world.
We all crave that, don't we?
I think so. We all yearn for genuine connections, for experiences that feel real, uncommodified, especially when so much can feel manufactured these days. And this glorification appeals strongly to people who want to differentiate themselves from the masses, who want to forge a unique identity through experiences abroad. It speaks to that deep yearning for deeper connections and personal growth. It frames travel not just as fun, but as this transformative journey that sets you apart, makes you a more complete person.
You see it all over social media.
Absolutely. Those curated feeds, artful shots of influencers blending seamlessly with locals, joining ceremonies with reverence, discovering hidden gems no one else knows about. It all reinforces this incredibly aspirational image of the truly authentic traveler. It's a very enticing fantasy.
Yeah, it is. But then on the flip side, the tourist stereotype often becomes the symbol for all our anxieties about modern travel, right?
Yeah.
It embodies concerns about the commodification of culture, the environmental impact of mass tourism.
That's where the criticism really lands hard, often with very little nuance or sympathy.
The image, Luxure points out, the tourist laden with cameras following a flag-waving guide. It really has become a symbol of superficial engagement with the world.
It's like shorthand for everything potentially negative about mass tourism.
Exactly. The negative impacts like over-tourism, which can just swamp local infrastructure and resources simply by having too many people in one place. Driving up housing costs for locals, pressuring fragile ecosystems, overwhelming basic services like water or waste management.
Yeah, the strain can be immense.
Then there's cultural erosion, where local traditions get watered down, simplified, or just commercialized for visitors, losing their original meaning.
Turned into a product.
Right. And, of course, environmental degradation, natural sites getting overwhelmed by crowds, leading to pollution, damage to trails, loss of biodiversity. This image of the tourist serves as this powerful visual for all those worries we have about travel's darker side.
Often portraying the tourist as the sort of unwitting or maybe even uncaring cause of these problems.
They become the easy target, the scapegoat for everything critics think is wrong with the mainstream travel industry.
And this is exactly where Luxure's material provides such a vital reality check. Because it's so crucial to remember that while the media romanticizes one and slams the other, this idealized view can sometimes gloss over significant complexities.
Meaning the traveler isn't always perfect either.
Not at all. The traveler persona, despite its overwhelmingly positive image, isn't automatically benign, nor is it immune to causing harm. Travelers themselves, even with the best intentions, can sometimes be guilty of things like cultural appropriation.
Could you explain that a bit?
Sure. It's like taking elements from a culture, maybe traditional clothing, a sacred symbol, and using them out of context without really understanding or respecting their original meaning or significance.
Okay, I see.
Or they might cause unintended negative impacts on local societies. For example, maybe a formerly quiet village gets suddenly popular on social media because some travelers discovered it. The influx inadvertently drives up prices for locals, disrupts traditional life, or just overwhelms a small community not set up for tourism.
Right, unintended consequences.
Exactly. So while the media loves these neat, rigid boxes, the actual lived reality of travel is far, far more nuanced. It's messy. As Luxure's sources keep saying, the reality is more complex, and the line between tourists and traveler is often blurred, maybe to the point of being almost meaningless.
So it's less about the label and more about behavior, attitude.
Precisely. It's not as simple as defining who you are or what label you prefer. It's about how you behave, what you seek, and most importantly, the mindset and attitude you bring to your journey. It really pushes us to think beyond those surface categories.
Which brings us, I think, quite naturally to Luxure's really transformative travel ethos. Their core idea seems to shift the whole focus away from these limiting, often judgy labels we've just been dissecting.
How do they frame it?
Well, their central idea is actually quite simple, but really powerful. Rather than focusing on labels, the emphasis should be on fostering a travel ethos that values curiosity, respect, and responsibility.
Curiosity, respect, responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about a foundational, universal approach to how you engage with the world. Doesn't matter how you get there or where you stay. This approach, as they put it so well, recognizes that every journey, whether it fits the conventional image of tourism or travel, has the profound potential to broaden horizons, challenge preconceptions, and contribute positively to intercultural understanding.
That's a powerful reframing. It suggests that how cruise ship or backpack matters less than the intention and the mindset.
Exactly. You can approach any journey with a mindset that enriches both yourself and the places you visit, creating a positive ripple effect. It's about conscious, deliberate engagement.
And that really is their core takeaway, isn't it? It's not about which label fits you best, but rather the mindset you bring to your journey. This is where that idea of mindful engagement becomes absolutely central to everything they advocate for.
What does mindful engagement look like in practice?
Well, it means being consciously aware of one's impact, both positive and potentially negative, on local communities and environments. So asking yourself questions like, are you actively trying to support local businesses, local artisans, ensuring your money actually benefits the people who live there?
Right. Thinking about where your money goes.
Exactly. Are you mindful of your waste? Trying to reduce plastic use, following local recycling rules? Are you respecting local customs and traditions, even if they're different from yours? Maybe learning a few basic phrases, dressing appropriately if you visit religious sites.
Little things that show respect.
Yes. It emphasizes striving for cultural sensitivity and openness to new perspectives. And this principle applies no matter how you travel, whether you're on a big guided tour or backpacking solo through remote areas.
How is that applied differently?
Well, on a guided tour, mindful engagement might mean really listening to your guide's explanations, asking genuine, respectful questions, observing local etiquette instead of just rushing past. On a solo trip, it might involve making a real effort to learn some basic language, watching how locals interact before jumping in, choosing places to stay that directly benefit the local economy, not just big international chains.
So it's adaptable.
Completely adaptable. We connect it to the bigger picture. It's about a universal way of engaging. It transcends the specifics of how you travel and focuses entirely on how you show up, how present and respectful you are. It's about building real bridges, fostering understanding, leaving a positive mark rather than just passing through.
And for Luxure, the island of Mallorca itself is absolutely key to embodying this whole ethos, isn't it?
Very much so.
It's presented not just as a place to visit, but as more than a destination. It's a lifestyle. They use the island as this perfect living canvas to showcase their entire philosophy, to demonstrate how true luxury and authentic cultural engagement can actually work together beautifully.
They enhance each other in a Luxure's view.
Exactly. The powerful statement that you don't have to choose between comfort and connection. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. Mallorca is described so vividly in their materials, having this rich tapestry of culture, nature, and gastronomy. And the way they talk about it really brings it to life. You hear about the appeal of sun-drenched beaches alongside the challenge of rugged mountain trails for those looking for active exploration.
Something for everyone, it sounds like.
Pretty much. Then there are its bustling markets, full of local chatter and amazing produce, and the deeply rooted, time-honored festivals. For anyone wanting to really immerse themselves in local life, maybe moving beyond just watching to actually participating.
Getting involved in the traditions.
Yeah. It's not just a place for a quick visit. It's this multifaceted, living environment that seems designed for profound, mindful engagement, whether that's through adventure, food, or just quietly soaking up the atmosphere in an ancient village square.
And what really gives Luxure the credibility to talk about Mallorca this way and to craft these deep experiences is their unrivaled knowledge of the island.
It's not just surface level.
Not at all. This isn't just stuff from guidebooks. It comes from more than a decade in the luxury hospitality and travel industry, specifically focused right on Mallorca. This deep, intimate knowledge lets them go way beyond the usual tourist spots.
So they know the real hidden gems.
They genuinely can provide authentic experiences that most visitors would probably never find on their own, no matter how much research they did beforehand. Their expertise allows them to recommend, say, the secluded coves only a few locals know about, or those tiny family-run restaurants serving Mallorcan dishes passed down for generations.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe hidden artisan workshops where ancient crafts are still being kept alive with incredible care. It's this deep, intimate grasp of the island's soul that lets them weave genuine, meaningful experiences into a luxury setting, making sure authenticity isn't lost for the sake of comfort or exclusivity.
So it's curated, but genuinely local.
Exactly. It's about offering a curated slice of real Mallorca, tailored to you, rather than just a generic luxury package. This deep understanding means every recommendation, every booking, every moment they arrange is infused with real, local flavor and the potential for genuine connection.
And this leads us to how brilliantly Luxure seems to merge these two ideas, luxury and authentic, mindful travel. Their main goal is to craft bespoke travel experiences that embrace both comfort and cultural authenticity, ensuring every journey is as enriching as it is unforgettable.
So, bridging that gap we talked about earlier.
Precisely. Think about it. They're not asking you to rough it or endure discomfort just to feel authentic. Quite the opposite. They're showing pretty clearly that you can have an exquisite, luxurious stay, enjoy top-level service, and still have deeply meaningful, genuine cultural encounters that stay with you long after you're home.
It dismantles that false choice.
It really does. It's about closing that perceived gap, that false dichotomy between indulgence and immersion. Picture this. You could be enjoying a private sailing trip along Mallorca's stunning blue coastline, yes?
Sounds lovely.
But maybe with a stop at a hidden cove, only reachable by boat, where you swim in crystal clear water all by yourself. Or maybe anchoring for a chef-prepared lunch on board, featuring freshly caught local fish.
Okay, that's luxury and local.
Exactly. Or imagine savoring a private gastronomic tour that takes you way beyond the usual tourist traps. Maybe to a generations-old family olive oil mill out in the countryside, where you learn about the process, followed by an exclusive tasting in a small boutique vineyard that's not normally open to the public.
Experiences you couldn't arrange yourself easily.
Probably not. They also facilitate exploring the island's hidden villages steeped in history, maybe setting you up with a private local guide who shares personal stories and local legends, bringing the old streets to life in a way a guidebook just can't. Their focus is truly on seamlessly weaving luxury into every detail, making sure every moment isn't just comfortable, but also uniquely yours, fostering that deeper connection.
And this absolute commitment to bespoke personalization really seems to be their core differentiator. What makes them stand out?
It's not off-the-shelf luxury.
Definitely not. It's profoundly not a one-size-fits-all approach, or you often see, even in high-end travel, as they really emphasize every experience created is unique, meticulously tailored to the individual traveler. It reflects their specific preferences, their pace, their passions.
How might that look in practice?
Well, it could be incredibly varied. Maybe intimate family getaways designed carefully to engage everyone, from toddlers to grandparents, perhaps with private lessons in traditional Mallorcan crafts, or kid-friendly excursions that are still rich in culture and learning.
That sounds lovely.
Or it could be truly exclusive events.
Yep.
Maybe a private classical concert set in the stunning historic grounds of an old finca, or a breathtaking sunset cocktail party overlooking the dramatic Tramontana Mountains, arranged just for you and your guests. For people seeking relaxation, they create serene wellness retreats that go beyond a standard spa day. Maybe integrating ancient local healing traditions, private yoga sessions in amazing natural settings, or even bespoke food experiences focused on local, healthy ingredients. All of it done with meticulous care and attention to detail.
It sounds like they understand that true luxury isn't just about expense.
Exactly. It's about fulfilling individual dreams and wishes with precision and thoughtfulness. This deep level of customization is what really lifts a trip from just memorable to truly transformative. It lets the traveler engage with Mallorca on their own terms, fostering that authentic sense of personal growth and deep connection that the whole traveler ethos is about.
But the Luxure's vision and their actual impact seem to go much further than just individual bespoke trips. They also have these significant, maybe even game-changing offerings for professionals within the hospitality industry itself, directly influencing how the whole sector works.
Oh, interesting. How so?
They provide business consulting and brand elevation services. These offer invaluable insights to empower industry leaders to build truly exceptional guest experiences, explore innovative strategies, and achieve operational excellence.
So helping other businesses level up their game.
Essentially, yes, they're helping hotels, resorts, private villa companies, other high-end providers to fundamentally rethink their brand. How can they stand out, not just with fancy amenities, but with the genuine, authentic experience they offer in a really crowded market?
How can they deliver on both luxury and authenticity, embodying that mindful ethos?
Exactly. Think about specific applications. Maybe refining your boutique hotel's identity to attract a more discerning, culturally curious guest, making sure every touch point from check-in to check-out speaks to a unique sense of place, or developing your villa rental service so every guest gets a seamless, personalized, deeply localized stay, mirroring the very service and philosophy Luxure brings to their own clients.
So they're exporting their standards and philosophy to lift the whole industry, pushing it towards a more conscious, responsible, enriching model.
That seems to be the goal.
And a crucial part of that industry elevation, I imagine, is their professional team training.
You got it. They have these programs meticulously designed to cultivate service excellence within hospitality teams, from top leadership right down to every single frontline staff member.
So it's not just surface-level stuff.
No, it seems much deeper. It's described as transformative professional development. It covers a wide range, from leadership development for managers, making sure that ethos of mindful, authentic hospitality really filters down from the top and is genuinely championed, to enhancing guest interactions for frontline staff, equipping them with skills to anticipate needs, handle issues gracefully, and truly embody the warmth, sophistication, and deep local knowledge of Mallorcan hospitality.
Giving them practical advice and proven techniques, it sounds like. Equipping teams to anticipate guest needs even before they're voiced, resolve problems with real empathy, and embody a service philosophy that aligns with that mindful ethos.
Right. It's a holistic approach, ensuring the entire guest journey, no matter the specific hotel or villa, reflects this deep commitment to quality, genuine engagement, and appreciating the local culture.
This raises a really important question, though. How can the industry as a whole really embrace this mindful ethos more broadly? Because ultimately, it's this kind of deep training and strategic thinking that can really shift the perception of an entire destination, fostering a more respectful, responsible, and enriching kind of tourism overall, benefiting both visitors and, crucially, the local communities who actually call Mallorca home.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, we've certainly covered a lot of ground ourselves, haven't we?
We definitely have. It's been quite a journey through these ideas.
We started by looking at those often tricky labels, tourist versus traveler, recognizing how society and media have really shaped and sometimes skewed how we see global exploration.
Moving beyond that simplistic, often quite judgmental binary.
Exactly. Appreciating the true, rich complexity of how we engage with the world and the absolutely crucial role that our individual mindset plays in that engagement.
And that really brings us back to Luxure's core message, which I think is so insightful and honestly profoundly important for all of us.
What stands out most for you?
It's about cultivating curiosity, respect, and responsibility in every single interaction we have with the world around us, whether that's traveling across oceans or just, across town. They keep reiterating that the key lies in respectful and mindful engagement with the places and people encountered along the way. Doesn't matter if you're on a quick business trip or a long adventure of self-discovery.
So it's not about the duration or the label you wear.
No. It's about the quality of your presence and the intention behind your interactions. That's what truly matters.
Absolutely. And that leads to a final thought, maybe something for you, the listener, to ponder. If every journey, as Luxure so powerfully suggests, really does have the potential to broaden our horizons and contribute positively to understanding between cultures, what does it mean if we apply that exact same ethos, that curiosity, respect, and responsibility to the journeys we take every single day, right where we live?
Bringing it home.
Yeah. How can we become more mindful explorers in our own communities, engaging with our daily lives, our neighbors, our local shops, our everyday interactions, with the same depth, the same intention, the same respect that Luxure advocates for global travel?
That's a fascinating question, applying that traveler ethos locally.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how we navigate our own personal landscapes, seeking authenticity and deeper connection, maybe even in the most familiar places.